Hello everyone and welcome back to The Lion's Den. I'm your host Matt as always, and today we are doing a fantastic on-location shoot at the gym. Yep, I literally just finished my gym workout and now I'm sat in my car. So if it's a little bit echoey and you hear kind of road noise, that's what that is. Very sorry. Currently there's a little bit of construction work going on at home by my dad. It's because they're trying to prepare their kitchen so that they can actually get it redone and refitted and modernized and not like it was designed in the early 2000s. So I thought it would be best to kind of record here where there's not a bunch of noise. So, because I'm actually in the car park currently, I will tell you about the story of the ticket machine. Dun dun dun! Yes, so you are required to purchase or just to show a parking ticket in the gymnasium car park. Now, as a sports participant, that's what they call us, so as a member of this gym, you are allowed to park in their car park for 2 hours completely free of charge, which is more than enough time for me because I take roughly about an hour to do my gym routines each day when I go, so that's fine. But the awkward part is where the ticket machine is positioned. So imagine the car park is approximately an L shape. They put the ticket machine at the sort of like base of the L, where it kind of the two parts join. And the problem is the bottom part, when you first drive around where the ticket machine is closest, tends to be what fills up the most. The rest of the parking spaces are quite a bit further away from the ticket machine, and there's only one ticket machine. So it's really awkward because if you have to park all the way up at the top end, you either have to drive in past the machine, park, walk to the machine, walk back to your car, and then walk all the way again to the front entrance, or you have to kind of pull into this little side area by the ticket machine, hop out your car, get a ticket, and then go and drive and park up. It's really not done well. They need a second machine sort of at the top end of the car park so that people can go to that one as opposed to going all the way down to the other one. But I digress. The awkward part about it as well is it's slow. The machine is really slow because you have to kind of press a button to wake it up, and then you have to input your registration plate, and then you have to tell it kind of what you want, whether you want to either pay or if you're a sporting participant, and then how long you want. It's just so slow. But I've figured out that on the wake up, so when you press a button to make the system wake up, what you can do is start entering your license plate and it will actually accept the input correctly. So that's what I'll start doing now. Just start typing the first few digits of my license plate, and by the time it's woken up, it's inputted them. So that's quite handy. The next thing that's rather exciting for me is that I have my first job interview. Confetti and balloons and stuff. So yeah, I'm quite excited because it's a job that I was actually genuinely interested in, but I'm nervous at the same time because, you know, it's my first job interview, my first real job interview. So this is going to be very interesting to see how I do. It's for an admin role, and essentially it will be helping with the recruitment department at my university, because essentially I really enjoyed being a student ambassador at university. I really liked sort of talking to students and trying to convince them that, you know, physics is a great degree to do and, you know, come do it at Nottingham because we're cool. So yeah, it would be really nice to kind of do that as an actual job, and that's kind of what this admin role sort of entails, so I'll be excited about that. I did a small interview prep session with the careers team at my university. It's very funny. I'm being taught by the university careers team how to get a job at the university. It's very funny. The lady who went through that with me was very nice. I sent her the job profile and she was kind of saying, here's a couple common questions they are likely to ask. And then she gave me this tip about how to answer questions, which is the STAR method. So essentially it stands for situation, task, action, and result. So that's how you structure your response. So let's say they said, give us an example of when you were working in a team. So you'd start by saying, well, here's the situation of when I was working in a team. Here's what we had to do as a team. That's your task. Here's how I acted. Here's what my actions were in the team. And then here's the result that I produced by working in a team. And that's kind of how you do it out. So that was very useful, and I will look into that, and perhaps I'll try and write out some of my experience that I've done over the course of my life. That's quite funny to say, and try and write them as those bullet points so that I've got it ready to go. I'm nervous, as I suppose most people would be nervous going into a job interview. I suppose the nice thing is that it's an online interview as well, So it's not like I have to, one, get up really early to drive somewhere. I'm not gonna have to then drive home and be nervous and worried. I will be home. I can basically put the phone down or the video call down and then go and grab a coffee or something or cry until I hear back from them about what they thought. But the lady who did the interview prep for me was, when she was asking me the questions, like, here's the common questions, do you have anything to say to this? And I was like, oh, I've got this, this, and this. She was saying, yeah, I can see why they wanted to interview you, because it sounds like you've got a lot of good, relevant experience. So that was quite nice, quite confidence inspiring. So, all being well, that should hopefully go quite nicely. That's coming up next week, so I suppose, assuming I hear back, I'll let you guys know next week how that went, whether I got the job or not. But I mean, if I don't get the job, it's still good practice, and obviously I've never done an actual job interview, so it's very good experience for me, because the last set of interviews I ever did was when I was applying for university, which was 4 years ago, and they were very different, I would imagine, because first off, they were one-on-one interviews. Secondly, they were in person, because, 4 years ago we weren't in this scenario. And obviously they ask a lot of different questions, because they're just kind of trying to get to know you, as opposed to trying to know if you're good for a job. So, hey-ho, fun times. So, next thing to talk about is the slight drama that I had yesterday. So, yesterday was Wednesday. It was. Wednesday morning was the interview prep that I alluded to just a minute ago. And in the afternoon, I went and bought a shelf. So, for context, in my bedroom, I have a single shelf on the wall that currently houses about 80% of my figurines, and by figurines I mean amiibo, as well as a ukulele and a Disney sketch from when we visited Florida many years ago. I've always said that I wanted a second shelf basically mirroring the current one on the opposite side of the room, so that I could kind of spread things out better and not overcrowd a single shelf. And also the problem is I seem to accrue amiibo over time, so I basically need more space to store said amiibo somewhere. So I was able to purchase the exact same shelf several years later after I bought the first one. That's the funny, weird part. And I managed to pick it up the same day. So, I literally ordered it online, drove down to where it was, picked it up, and then drove back within maybe half an hour. So that was kind of cool. I then spent forever trying to get the position correct on the wall. So my dad has a few handy tools because of the job that he's in. So we had a laser level. Essentially, that means that there's a device that shoots out a horizontal and vertical laser beam, and it's self-leveling, so you can kind of raise it up and down and it will make a perfectly level crosshair on a wall, so you can mark it out and stuff. And he also has a laser measuring tape, as the best way I could describe it. So it's a little device that shoots out a laser beam, and that measures distance, so it's super accurate because it's doing it based off laser light. And they're really cool because you can kind of shoot it around like a laser gun, but take serious measurements. So that was really cool. So I used that to kind of measure the position of where the original shelf was, and then I translated that to the other side of the room. And then I had to figure out, well, this is where the shelf should be, so where should the bracket be that the shelf goes onto? So I'm kind of like calculating and marking up and measuring. And then I asked my dad to come help with the whole drilling part, because it's kind of a two-man job. You need someone to drill and then someone to vacuum up all the wall dust that comes out. So he came to do that, and we installed the bracket and put the shelf on. We stepped back and went, oh, that's really, really wonky. It was painfully obvious that it was very skewed to one side. So one side was lower than the other. And I mean, I went and grabbed a small deodorant can, put it on top, and it just started rolling straight off to the side. So we were like, that's a problem, because you can't exactly just fill holes and then re-drill them because they won't be structurally sound. So it's like, what do we do? So my dad was like, right, we'll have a cup of tea just to pause and reevaluate. So we went and had a cup of tea. We came back, and I have no idea what he did, but essentially he kind of he unscrewed the bracket, and he said to me that one side of the bracket was perfect. It was where it should be. It was the other side. So we kind of jammed it up slightly enough to still have the screw go through the hole, but now at an angle as opposed to straight, I think. So he somehow managed to get this shelf that was nowhere near level to be almost perfectly level. It was insane. So I'm very thankful that he's able to do this. But now I have a second shelf, so that's cool. You know, if I have half a brain, the way I edit these videos is I basically just put audio over a static image, so I might be able to put an image of the new shelf on the video. So, assuming I was not an idiot and managed to figure out how to do that, you can look on the screen right now and there'll be a picture of the shelf. Either way, thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and I hope you're all having a fantastic week. Make sure you stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye!